Name drop.
Brad Williams, it's an
Yes.
honor to have you here on Name Drop.
Oh, okay. So whenever you drop a name,
Whenever you
Drop
drop
a
a
bell.
name, you
Yeah,
ding
go ahead.
the
You can
bell.
drop your. You can
We
ring
just
your
drop
bell.
your name.
You can just put it on your lap too.
Yeah.
yeah,
sometimes
because
it's
I'll be
easier.
doing it.
That's what we want.
Yeah, I'll be dropping names like crazy.
This our third season.
Mm-hmm.
We have had some crazy, weird stories from people that you would never guess.
Well, you're one of my
New.
stories that I've told on podcasts. Chris,
Well, let's hear this one.
When I tell people, when people tell me like on other podcasts, they go, "What? Like you probably gotten to meet some cool people. Like, what are some stories? Do I mention when I met Robin Williams?
yeah,
I mean, maybe that's
that's
a
a
You
pretty
met
big
Robin
good
Williams.
one.
So tell
that's
what.
a big one.
Yeah, do I mention the fact that I text regularly with Chris Jericho and he's one of my good
Yes,
friends?
You do.
I mean, maybe, but honestly, the story I tell on podcasts all the time is when we met in Nashville. Because when we met in Nashville, it was after I did a show at Zany's, and you were there, and you may have had a
few
beverage.
drinks, a
Or
beverage
two.
or two.
Chris?
Yeah, I know, right? Shocking.
Yeah, it was. Those were. We call those the dark years.
Yeah, and he's like, let's go to this bar that I really know. And it's a great
it Winners,
bar.
Losers?
It's a great bar.
No.
It's this bar out in the middle of like, it's
No.
20 minutes out of
Yeah.
Nashville,
Yeah.
like Nashville.
Yeah.
Bars everywhere, and he's like, no, we're going to this one. And it's like I think one of the walls is just plywood,
Yeah.
and it's not even Santa's Pub. I would go to
Was
Santa's
it Fran's?
Pub. I have
We went
no
to Fran's,
clue
I
what it was
think.
called.
I think we went to France.
But we go there and it's a trash bar, but I'm loving it, and
Yeah.
we're drinking and we're having fun. And then there's a karaoke. machine.
That's France.
There's a
We're
karaoke
friends.
place. It's friends, and I look at Chris and I go, "Do you trust me?" And he goes, "No." And I go, "Cool." So I go, I put in a song,
right.
and then they call my name a few songs later because there's 5 people there,
Yeah.
so it's not gonna be a long wait.
It's a Backstreet Boys song.
I
You
want it that
are
way.
My fire.
Yes,
the
and I have a
one
video of me and Chris
is
singing Backstreet Boys
yeah.
karaoke. And
Killing it.
Killing it
Killing
for
it.
those 5 people at that
Killing
bar.
it. I actually got a record deal after that.
Yeah.
It was amazing.
They were loving it. So that's one of the stories I
Yeah.
tell. Like, how many people have the story of they got to sing Backstreet Boys with an NSYNC
yeah.
member?
I do.
I kind of have.
Yeah, I'm sure you do.
Many-
we
times.
kind of have like a little bit like part of the song.
What?
I Want It That Way. What was that promo we did? Was it for a promo?
That doesn't
Yeah.
count for
we
anything.
were doing a photo
anything-
shoot, and I
yeah.
played Backstreet Boys, and I thought I was being cool.
Yeah.
And he's probably like, "How many times has this been done?"
Yeah, that's
I mean, at
like
least
when
it
I'm
wasn't
leaving a
LFO.
bar and somebody yells out, "Hey, Chris, bye, bye, bye." I'm like, "Oh,
Never
one,
heard that one
Brusky.
before.
it's a good one."
Yeah.
That's why my joke with that is always, why didn't we write a song called like, "Hey, Chris, here's $100."
So my version of that is one of my more popular jokes is a bit where I talk about how when you go to a men's bathroom, there's always the urinals that are way up there, and
Yep.
there's one that's way the. Can
Yeah.
I
You
curse?
can cuss,
All right.
yeah, way the
There's
fuck.
always urinals way the fuck down there. That's mine. That's
Yep.
reserved for me. I
Yep.
hate it when tall guys use it because they do. I know why you do it. You
Yep.
you do it because it's the only time your dick looks big.
Right.
And you're just
For
like,
sure.
yeah, look, giant dick, tiny
Hey.
urinal. Eh.
Ding for dick.
I hate that. So I now on Instagram people DM me photos of the tiny urinals. They're like, "Hey, look what I'm at right now," and they DM me photos of tiny urinals. I'm like, "Why didn't I write a joke just called perfect tits?"
Yeah.
Like,
I need to say
I
pictures.
need-
You know, the funny thing about that is that my best friend from back home is a little person, and him and I have
Hell yeah.
discussed this many times. And that is Eric and my biggest joke is about the urinal. And I don't even know if I've heard the bit before, but every time, and we walk in there, and him and I will walk in if we're going to the bathroom together. We walk in the bathroom together, and if there's some dude standing on the small urinal, we both just stand behind him like this.
oh, since it's the Name Drop podcast.
Yes.
All right, get ready for it.
Yes.
All right, so
Go, girl.
so this is how this story, this bathroom kind of thing, is how I met Chris Pratt.
Oh, nice.
Yes.
That's a good name drop.
Yeah.
Went to a Laker game and went to the Laker game with my heterosexual life mate, a great comedian. His name is Adam Ray.
Oh, I love
Right now, he's really popular as
that. You guys write together a
yeah.
lot, right?
He's really popular as Dr. Phil on the Kill Tony podcast.
Oh, that's
Yes.
him.
Yeah,
that guy's
that's
awesome.
him.
Yeah, yeah,
So
okay.
He's
Yeah,
killing
yeah.
it right
So
now.
great on that.
Love this dude. So we're at we're at the Laker game. I won these tickets in like a raffle. I didn't even buy them, but they happen to be courtside, and I've never sat courtside before. And we go there and we sit down, and right away the waitress comes up and goes, "Would you like food?" And we're kind of halfway broke at this point, so we're like, "No, we're just here to." It's not the Kobe Lakers.
Beers?
It's like Kobe's hurt. It's like it's not, or like he's not playing. It's like Lakers
Lamar
Magic.
Odom Lakers.
Yeah, it's not. It's no one special. We're just happy to be there. And she goes, "Oh well, it is Free Food Friday," and we're like, "Well, okay,
around for everybody.
We get sushi courtside. We're like, this is the most LA thing we've ever done. And
Was Jack Nicholson there?
He wasn't there. No one was there. It stunk. But
they were playing like the Minnesota Timberwolves.
Yeah, but Chris Pratt was there.
Hey.
So, hey, you guys are good again. Thanks, it's fun. Yeah, it's been a while. Now you're gonna lose.
Go Ants.
Now you're gonna lose Anthony Edwards to the Heat.
Hey, no, that's not gonna happen.
No, you're losing him to the Heat because your current owner isn't giving it up to the A-Rod group, and it's
I don't
causing.
think it's gonna happen.
I have some inside information on that. It's gonna break your heart. Anyway, moving on.
Cool. Can we talk about Ayuk then?
Yeah.
What's going on with him? I need some inside scoop here.
I got some on that too.
Yeah.
Please tell me he's gonna still be around.
Who?
Carl Anthony.
I mean, yeah.
He's still be there. But the Ant-Man's gonna go. What year?
February 6th is the trading deadline, and if a lot of dominoes have to fall. But if the dominoes fall, if your current owner sticks with the team and
he's gonna play with Jimmy Buckets
and refuses to sell to the A-Rod group, then you're gonna lose Edwards. So hopefully you sell to the A-Rod group because listen to the Pablo Torre Finds Out podcast.
You're like the Magic 8-Ball of sports.
I know way too much shit that's
What
worthless.
about Anthony and him Ant-Man? Oh,
Yeah.
let me just tell you.
I got that
Ask
stuff.
again later.
Yeah. But so we're at the court, and complete side note, me and Adam had been friends for years, and I did something that night that he never thought I could do, and then our friendship changed forever. Where someone gave me a water bottle, I put it on the ground, and then I needed to get it, so I grabbed it with my feet, flipped it up, and caught it, and Adam's like, "I knew your people were magical, but what the fuck?" That is insane.
What do you mean, your people?
Yeah, the whites. Anyway, the Germans.
Got it.
Anyway, but so and then we see Chris Pratt is sitting courtside, and at the time Adam and I had a podcast called About Last Night, and we're trying to get guests on it, so we're like, we should try to get him. Yeah. So at halftime we get up and we follow Chris Pratt
into the bathroom.
There's a lower level area for the courtside celebrity people that's away
VIP.
from all the other people.
And he's super tall too.
Yes. And then he goes into the men's bathroom. Chris Pratt goes to the men's bathroom, and I look at him and I go, "Don't worry, I got this. I didn't have this. I have no plan. I just wanted to sound like a badass." So I go in and Pratt is at one urinal, and then there's a rando guy, but he's using the dwarf urinal. There's tons of urinals. They're all open.
Or some people call it the kids' urinal.
That's what you call it. Yeah,
it's the dwarf urinal.
I mean, you can't have everything.
Screw them kids. It's dwarf urinal. There's a cornucopia of urinals. He's using the tiny one. So I stand uncomfortably close to this guy. I stand right behind him and just go, "Yeah, just your luck. You're using the midget urinal." And then a midget shows up.
Did he turn around and start laughing?
Pratt looks over. He did a spit take with no water, just and just starts busting up laughing. And the guy's very apologetic. It's really weird when a guy's apologizing to you with his dick in his hands. Yeah. It's very strange. It's happened a few times before. Catholic Church. So he leaves, and then I go to Pratt like, "You believe that guy?" And he's like, "Yeah, that's messed up." And I go,
"We're buds, right?"
"Hey, I'm Brad. I'm a comedian. I got a podcast." And he's like, "Cool." And then we walk out, and Pratt's from Seattle. Adam Ray's from Seattle. Adam was wearing a throwback Sean Kemp jersey at the game. And so then he sees the Sean Kemp jersey and was like, "Hey, Sean Kemp jersey." And then so then we talked, and he's like, "Yeah, I'll do your podcast."
Do we have to ding for every
Wait, did he do
Sean
it?
Kemp's
and he never did the podcast. He's a nice guy, and we met.
You got a good pee story out of it.
Yeah, I got a good pee story. Pee for urine and Pratt.
And now you got to bring the podcast back just to get
him on.
I got to talk about like your start.
Sure.
Was it Carlos Mencia?
Is
that correct? So he's the one that called you up to come up on stage.
Yeah. So this was 20 years ago, Father's Day of 2004. And I had taken my dad for Father's Day to watch stand-up comedy, and it was Mencia, and he starts making midget jokes, and half the audience is laughing, and the audience
half around you is not.
And
right.
Just doing that, and he stops and he notices that they're not laughing. He goes, "Why don't you guys like these are good jokes?" He goes, "What is one of them here?" And I just raised my creepy little hand in the air. And he called me up on stage. He was like, "I want to talk to you." So he started asking me questions, and I answered the questions honestly. I wasn't trying to be funny, but I answered the questions honestly, and my answers got laughs. Like,
were they about little people, or was it? He
just asked me. He goes, "What do you do for a living?" And I was a 19-year-old kid, born and raised in Orange County, California. So I did what every 19-year-old kid in Orange County does. I worked at Disneyland.
Oh,
that's what I did. And I said I work at Disneyland, and the audience kind of chuckled. And I turned to the audience. I was like, "Fuck you! I'm not one of the 7." And still gets a laugh. That's what I love about that joke. Great. And he gets that laugh. And dude, when that laugh happened. That was the rush of adrenaline.
No kidding. You never done stand-up before that?
Nope.
Never even thought about that.
So you just started going to open mics, and that's how it happened. But
that's how it starts.
So what did your parents think about that? Because you were born January 13th, 1983.
84, but
84. That's why I was
close. You did your research.
Oh man,
he's studying my Wikipedia page.
Wikipedia guy.
All the time.
But yes, parents were not thrilled because I was going to USC, fight on Trojans, and then I dropped out to do stand-up comedy. I had a year left to go.
Did you know there was no money in it in the beginning?
Of course not.
There's still no money.
Of course not. Now there is, thankfully. But it only took me 19 years to become start making some real dough. But I didn't know. That's the thing. That's the glorious part about comedy. It's like the Han Solo line from Empire Strikes Back when C-3PO is like, "The odds of surviving an asteroid field is 1 in 62 billion." He's like, "Never tell me the odds." Never tell a young comic the odds. Because if you would have told me, hey, by the way, here's how many people that look like you have ever been successful in stand-up comedy. It's Tanya Lee Davis, and that's about it. And that's it. And I would have been like, "Oh, well, that's not a good thing to do. I'll go back to school." By the way, I was majoring in communications. When I dropped out, we didn't lose a cancer cure. We're fine.
Right.
We're good. I probably would have done your job eventually.
Which is crazy. Which
is easy as well.
We met. So you were telling me before you came in, we met on the set of TRL.
Yep. In 2004.
Do you know what I was wearing?
No idea. It was probably something plaid.
Polo.
A lot of button-up plaids. But it was March. It was St. Patrick's Day weekend. 2004, USC was on spring break at that time. With my buddies, we went to New York. We had no money, but I thought, hey, let's be in the audience at TRL. It happened to be a damn blizzard that weekend. So
who was the guest? Pink?
No idea. But
Fred Williams.
But you started the thing off. You started the episode off by going out into Times Square, and you were at the island like it's March, it's late March in New York, but it's still snowing. Yeah. And if you check a tape, you might see a tiny guy wearing a USC hoodie right next to you.
Wow.
And and then I asked
some research on that.
And then I asked for your
autograph. Do we
make
eye contact when we talk?
I asked for your autograph. Wow. You said you said "fuck off, midget." You punted me. That was really weird. That didn't seem necessary.
Is it? Sorry, but you know something that's really. I'm gonna give you a compliment real quick though. It's funny because. You are when you walk out on stage, right?
Yeah.
You come out and the audience, you can see the audience go, "Oh, it's a little person,"
yep.
right? So it's like, "Oh, am I gonna like laugh because I feel like I have to laugh or whatever?" And I'm your friend, and I've seen you do stand up a few times, and I've seen your specials. And I told Brian this earlier. I said the most amazing thing about Brad Williams is he walks out on stage, and of course you look at him and go, he's a little person.
Sure.
And you think to yourself, okay, how is this going to go? 10 minutes into your set, if you make a small joke or a little person joke, light bulbs go on like, oh my God, he's a little person.
Yes.
Like you are
Yes.
so good at what you do.
Thank
and
you.
you are such and honestly, as a friend,
Yeah.
I want to give you this compliment.
Oh, that's nice.
That watching you is so amazing because you forget, like, it's not your shtick.
Yeah.
Your shtick is when you come out, let's get rid of the big elephant in the room, whatever it is.
Got to do it.
Talk about it for a second. And
Yes.
the next thing you know,
now
are
we're
funny.
Off. Now we're going off
and
into
you
a
don't
different
even
direction.
use it. You don't even use
Yeah,
There's
well,
so many opportunities that you don't take. You just use comedy, and it's great.
Thank you.
But then he busts jokes like, I stole a box of Keebler cookies.
Oh, that one's fun. But like,
is that true? Did you do that?
Yeah. Once I found out I could steal.
This is a true story.
Yeah, I stole a box of
God.
Keebler cookies, and when the cashier questioned me about it, I said, no, I'm allowed to do this. My family makes these, and he just
froze.
looked at me like I don't know what to say to that. I have no comeback for that, and then I walked out. So, but the whole when I go out on stage, and thank you, that was a very nice compliment. And
That's all you get.
but when I go out on stage, I know I have to talk about it because if I don't, the audience is just looking at me like, does he know?
Yeah.
Has
he figured it
Is
out?
he aware?
Yet?
So yeah. So let's go on stage. Let's talk about it. Let's rip a few jokes. Let's get everyone comfortable.
Yeah.
And then that gives me the opportunity to go from there to do whatever else I want to do. Which, but I'll still pepper them in every now and then as I tell people. I don't know how to write jokes from the perspective of a 6'4" man.
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
just not in my
That's
mentality.
okay. Neither do we.
Yeah.
There's this. I going through all your specials. That was it. Fun Size and
Fun Size,
Daddy Issues.
Daddy Issues, and the most recent one is on YouTube. It's called Starfish. It's about to hit 2 million views. I'm very happy about that.
Starfish.
Yeah.
The
I feel like it's the way to go.
It's not about the butthole.
What are you
What is it?
talking
No,
about?
what is it
It's
about?
Totally about the butthole.
All right. I know you were TRL, Limp Bizkit, Chocolate Starfish, Hot
Yeah,
Dog,
yeah.
Water. I know.
Yeah.
I've been there. I know that. But
You got a memory like no other.
I love titles that make you think one thing and then you go a completely different way with it. And then in the middle of the set, when I do the Starfish joke, you're like, oh, it's not about the butthole. The spoiler alert. There's a ton of other jokes in the set, so it's fine. You could go watch it. It's on YouTube. But the joke is basically about when my wife tells me that I've done something bad and I gotta go sleep on the couch or whatever, I don't mind it because I'm a little person. That couch is still a king size bed for my ass, so I just starfish right on the couch. I don't care.
Right.
I actually could spread out more on the couch than I can in the king size bed with her.
Does your wife still give you the crazy gifts every Christmas?
Birthdays
and the
yeah.
That's comedy.
What kind of gifts?
That's comedy.
Wait, name drop wife.
Oh,
what's her name?
I mean, she's not a celebrity, but
doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter.
She's a celebrity in my mind.
There you go.
There you go.
What's her name?
Her name is Jasmine.
She's
a martial arts instructor, champion.
There's jokes in there. I'm
Oh,
sure.
there are tons.
Oh my God.
Sure.
And and she also works. She's a behavioral therapist who works with kids who have autism. She's an angel.
Mm-hmm.
I'm the devil. So that's why opposites attract. But yeah, we like doing really fun gifts for each other and stuff like that. So it's not like we like to be more thoughtful than just here's shoes or here's whatever. Like we like to do fun things. I'm trying to think of an example right now, and I don't know if it's the cameras or just because I'm with two very handsome, powerful men. But right, look at that, killing with some compliments.
I like how you look around like it's something new you've heard. Sorry, I just took that as natural.
Well, I just took a step back, just like I wanted him to see your face.
So he changes his mind? What are you doing? Come on, you're killing me.
Yeah, it's my wife is tall, by the way, so that's how you know I'm really fucking good at this job.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you have a bit where you talk about doggy style is different for tall guys and little people.
Oh, doggy style with the dwarf is the best because you gotta get down on those tiny knees. You skip leg day anyway, but you got you probably cramp up after judging by your thigh size, 8 seconds.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then you probably can't go anymore. Whereas the dwarf, I just stand. I'm standing up. Everything's lined up perfectly. Yeah. I'm good. I could put a beer on her back. It's awesome. It's great. I'm hydrated. I'm pounding the Liquid IV. They should be a sponsor. And I'm feeling great. So that, and I would tell people, not with me because I'm married, but to all the women out there, you should sleep with a dwarf at least once. If you want to have the best story at brunch, and impress all your girlfriends. That's the one.
Yes.
Say you banged a dwarf. They'll have follow-up questions.
Yes. How's touring?
Touring?
Like, now you have a little one.
Yes, I 4 years old. That is how old my daughter is. She is also a dwarf, and then my wife is Chinese, so we have an Asian dwarf, which is like the ultimate in cuteness. Like that, if all the babies in the world were in a claw machine, you would be going for Asian dwarf.
Right.
You would like, come on, Asian dwarf, come on. Oh no, it got a white dude from Wisconsin. Fuck. That's okay. I can
Which we
offend them.
still love Wisconsin.
Yeah,
people.
shout out to
Just
Wisconsin.
not as much as
JJ Watt.
Yeah.
Go. All right. He's from there. Anyway.
Who's coming to the Steelers?
Oh my God.
TJ. But yeah.
No, but JJ's coming.
Is he coming back?
He's coming back. TJ's gonna get him out of retirement. He's coming
Oh,
back.
they want to.
Wait, did you know
They wanna
something?
play together. Come on.
I don't know
NFL.
this.
Jeez.
I don't know this, but that'd be great.
That would be amazing.
He probably saw LeBron wanting to play with his
Yep.
kid, and then he's like, "Well, I can play with my
Ronnie.
brother." Yeah, So that would make complete
But
sense.
having a family now
mhm.
and still doing, because tour schedule's grueling, right?
Yeah.
I mean, even
Especially
though
this year.
even though at your level it's a little bit more fun. Are you a weekend warrior now? Do you get to go on Thursday, Fridays?
Well,
or?
so the thing is this year has been the best year of my career. I'm doing theaters. We're selling them out. We're adding shows. It's awesome. It's truly amazing. And strike while the iron's hot.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'm sure when NSYNC hits, you're like, well, let's wait a few years before we do a world tour. Like, no, you gotta go. You gotta go now.
I'm begging for it. I've been begging for it. I'm so desperate.
Is that your way of saying, come on, man?
Yeah.
Come on,
Hey,
let's go.
I can replace Justin.
Yeah, maybe it's just me and you, but let's do it.
Let's get me, you, and Fat One.
Yeah, let's
okay.
go.
Yeah.
Joey's got this.
Yeah, Joey's got it. Yeah, we. Sorry,
Oh, yeah,
we got
sorry,
shut
we
out
didn't
for
think
Fat
Joey.
One. Yeah.
Oh, or Justin.
Yeah, Justin, and then
NSYNC.
Yeah.
NSYNC.
Do the whole thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, touring's rough, but I'm doing a crazy schedule this year. If I'm not coming to your city in the United States, you didn't try hard enough, because I'm
Where can
going
they find
everywhere.
the tour schedule?
BradWilliamsComedy.com. This year I'm going to Australia. I'm going to New Zealand. I'm going to Europe. I'm going to. Yeah, I'm
Wow.
going
Have you been?
Crazy World Tour. I've been to London, and that's about it. But now, here's how you know I love performing. I'm going to Dublin, Ireland. Do you know how terrifying it is for a dwarf to go to Dublin, Ireland? I'm just going to walk around
Do you
that
have your
city.
outfit picked out?
Not green. I'm going to tell you that much. I'm going to try to be like as indiscreet as possible, because those those
Drunk
Irish
Irishmen?
people are just going to look at me like, I didn't know those fuckers were real. It's going to be that the whole time. It's going to suck.
You could really just fuck with people by standing outside of taverns.
Yeah.
When they come staggering out. And just,
I think you've had too much. I can just do that.
Follow me.
Yeah.
Along the way, what comics have like kind of helped you out?
Oh man. Well, first Mencia,
You guys are still pretty tight.
He took me on the road.
Yeah.
And I was his opening act for 4 years, which was like going to comedy college, and then you graduate and you go off on your own. But there's been that's the thing. No one gets to where they are just on their own completely. People help them out, whether it be Jim Jeffries putting me on his TV show Legit, which was awesome, and taking me around Australia as his opening act, so I got introduced to that audience. Whether it be Christopher Guest for putting me in 2 movies.
Christopher Guest.
2 movies.
Wow, what films?
Guest is big.
Mascots was on Netflix. I got a part in that where I got to do a scene with the late great Fred Willard. And
he's awesome.
He was
awesome.
Beyond amazing. And then Christopher Guest put me in the new film Spinal Tap 2.
No,
He's a huge Spinal Tap fan.
Yeah. Spinal Tap
I had
Dose.
a band, like we played around and had a record out called Nigel's 11.
Oh,
all from Spinal
beautiful.
Tap, because of our ode to Spinal Tap. We were driving, the band, NSYNC was driving.
Yeah.
Sorry, NSYNC was driving in
Yeah.
our tour bus, and we all watched Spinal Tap. I
You
think
have
we
to.
must have watched it 4 times and cried laughing. and all that stuff. That is like that's like musician lore. Like that's like when you're in the business, it's probably like funny people.
Yeah, getting lost on the way to the stage.
Oh, that's the best. What's up, Cleveland?
Yeah, where the
we're looking for the stage.
Yeah, it's all that touring life. That movie is quintessential. More so if you're a musician.
You're making me crazy now that they've got a 2 coming.
Oh yeah,
out. I've heard rumblings.
Everyone's back.
Of it.
Because now that you've got fame, you've got some cash.
Yeah.
You're doing all these tours. Yeah. Are people asking you to do shows? Are they asking you to do movies?
Yes.
Now, do you find yourself getting pigeonholed sometimes, or was that kind of in the beginning?
Well,
because I'm sure it's got to be tough when they're like, we're looking for a romantic lead for this comedy here, and they're like, oh, Brad, hey,
fun time with that. The thing about being a comic is, like being a musician, you have the thing that is your bread and butter. Mm-hmm. So if you don't like the role, you don't like the thing, you can be like, I'm going to go back and do the thing that I like doing and makes me money, and it's fine. So I only take the stuff that I really like. Yeah, I've gotten offered a few, elf roles, and I just go, nah.
Thanks,
good.
Will Ferrell.
What if? I was going to ask you. What if Will Ferrell came to you and said, "I'm doing Elf 2"?
Oh, that one?
Yeah, that's a little different.
Okay,
that's different.
That's different.
Yeah, I would have liked.
You're like his brother.
Yeah, I would have done it. I would have totally played one of the dwarves in Snow White if Dinklage hadn't spoken up and taken all the dwarves out of that movie. Thanks, Dink. Yeah, I'm calling you Dink.
Have you met him?
No, I haven't seen him at the meetings.
And
he hasn't showed up. All he does is he
sends his representative to the meeting.
He talks to the press and takes 7 roles away from dwarf actors. Yes, I'm feuding with Peter Dinklage.
Oh, this is amazing.
He doesn't know who I am. There's no way he knows I exist.
This is like the old claymation MTV
Celebrity Deathmatch.
Yes,
Peter
Dinklage, Brad Williams.
Me against Dinklage. All the Game of Thrones fans will hate me. But here's the thing. I don't like Dinklage for 2 reasons. One, simply jealousy. Simply pure.
Hell of an actor.
Good-looking man.
Good-looking man. Tough. He's 50-something. He still looks good. Amazing actor. Obviously, has won awards. If they made a movie and it was the Brad Williams story, it would be starring Peter Dinklage. Yeah,
and
absolutely.
Your wife would be like, "Ooh, he's great job on casting.
Nailed it." She'd be stoked about it. So that's the one reason I don't like him. The other reason is that there's this whole Disney thing where Disney announced a live-action Snow White. And then Dinklage went on the Mark Maron podcast and said, "Oh, we're still doing that dwarf thing. We're still doing the dwarf thing in Snow White." And everyone was like, "Oh, King Dwarf has spoken. We should not have little people in the movie." Right. So then they took out the little people. Then they replaced him with Snow White.
With Hugh Grant.
Yeah, that's the other thing. I'll talk about that one, too.
It's all Hugh Grant.
Yeah, Hugh Grant played an Oompa Loompa in the Timothy Chalamet Willy Wonka reboot. Mad about that. So they replaced the dwarves with Snow White and the 7 magical beings. Now, if you have a phone and you're watching this on your computer, whatever, look on your phone. Look what these people looked like. It looked like Snow White and the 7 beatniks from Chico State. Okay, they look like a hacky sack circle. There's one dwarf and everyone else is just
smoking a lot of reefer.
Yeah, that's what they look like. And then people got mad about that because they're like, hey, that's not the Snow White I grew up with.
Just taking jobs away too.
Yeah. So then they said, okay, well the dwarves are back.
Yeah.
But then they made them CGI. So now there's CGI dwarves. So dwarf actors don't get a paycheck or a role, but some animator for Disney, he got a lot of money to have to be able to.
So you were on those picket lines when they're like, what's this CGI stuff?
Yeah,
this AI?
Yeah, I mean, they weren't picket signs. They were like 3x5 cards for us. But
index cards.
Yeah, but we got the message across. All I'm saying is I'm not going to see that movie. I'm not going to see Snow White. I don't care if I feud with Disney. I have comedy. That's what I have.
It would be way worse if they were all CGI'd in your likeness. Then I could see total anger for you being like, I didn't even get the job.
To give people an idea of what this would be like. This would be like if Lizzo got a part being an overweight African American woman, and then who's the one that won for Precious? God, why am I blanking on her name? Monique. And then Monique got mad and said that is offensive. And then they took out Lizzo and then
made a Beyonce.
CGI'd an overweight African-American woman instead of giving them the money. That's essentially what happened here. Dinklage took parts away. I'm not exactly happy about it. I would love to sit down with the man and have a dinner where we could talk about it, mostly because I'd be like, can I get a photo and an autograph? Like, let's break
By the way, I'm a big fan.
Yeah,
you
let's
are
break.
Very handsome. You're much more handsome in person.
Yeah, let's break the internet, buddy. Because whenever it's like, so you've definitely experienced this, Chris, or like if you ever took a photo with Carson Daly, the internet breaks because that's everyone's nostalgia. Everyone's just like TRL and stuff. So like if I take a photo with any dwarf celebrity, like in the aforementioned Spinal Tap 2, there's another dwarf in the movie. It's Wee Man from Jackass. So he and I got to hang around in New Orleans for a week shooting the movie, and everywhere we went, holy shit.
Were people saying he's Brad Williams and you're Wee Man?
Yeah, it's
back and forth.
It's interchangeable at that point. But yeah,
he's kind of like a taco bar or something like that in Hermosa or something.
Yeah. But I'm just glad to be in a movie with him because now people will watch the movie and be like, "Oh, they're different people." Had no idea. Thought they were the same guy. But
you were talking like in one of your bits. You were talking about like you like to drink.
I don't.
Hey, I talk about that in my bits too. By the way,
also,
what's going on, guys? I like to drink.
Yeah,
we're actually sponsored by Jack Daniels.
I remember I was in Detroit, Michigan. Was doing this Napster free tour with Limp Bizkit, and they had like Tommy Lee was there and Vern.
Who, by the way, are back. Limp Bizkit is crushing it. Crushing
it. Oh my God, I want to go.
And I'm still waiting for him every time he walks out on stage. It's like, still fuck the boy bands and all that stuff. It's like,
I remember him like he was at a dysfunctional family picnic in New York, K-Rock's New York, and he just went off on Scott Stapp, and that was like just
See,
I felt like Creed got canceled because of that.
Now that they're back, I feel like that's how we get everybody on board for the reunion is you have to have Fred call him out and be like, they don't have it anymore.
And
do
then
a little
we gotta
reverse
come
psychology.
out with a boy band love song to diss him right back.
Yes.
Let's do it.
Yes.
I've already got it halfway written.
I bet.
How does it go?
I forgot. I can't give it away because it's not done and somebody's going to steal it.
But I've never seen... So we were with Vern Troyer, who was Mini-Me.
Yep.
R.I.P. Rest in peace.
Rest in peace.
I loved him. But his manager was a little person.
Yeah.
And they would
Vern's manager was also a North?
Yeah, not anymore, but it's now Ray Hughes. But
wow.
Vern hangs out with Vunkar. Vern and Vunkar are friends. If you don't know who Vunkar is, Vunkar is in the movie Willow. Which is one of my all-time favorite movies. Vunkar is the greatest warrior in the village.
Oh, Tony Cox.
Is that who it is? Tony Cox.
Yeah,
I saw when I was with Vern, he was with him.
You do the character name. I'm like, oh, the guy?
Are you kidding me? No, it's one of.
I could text Tony right now.
That's one of my all-time favorite movies. I met.
Yeah.
When.
That's why we're friends.
Yeah.
I'm like fulfilling his Willow fetish.
I'm just
one
he's got
little
away.
People fetish.
Yeah.
I'm always 1 degree away with Brad.
Let's go.
That's how it always works. That was like Warwick Davis.
Yeah, Warwick Davis.
I just did something with, but that's how my wife and I bonded because Willow was my favorite movie and it was her favorite movie. And they did the remake.
All I'm hearing is I have a shot with his wife.
And all that. Totally.
That's all.
You totally do.
That's all.
You totally do. And then I just got to dress up like Peter Dinklage and I'm going after your wife. It's going to be great.
Dude.
This wife swap 2.0.
Tony Cox. Legend.
I just remember one of the funniest videos I've ever seen is Vern getting wheeled in one of those luggage carts.
Yes,
getting wheeled from room. He was hammered out of his mind.
Yeah,
and his manager was the one that was wheeling them through. And I was just like,
which is kind
little
of
people can't hold their
funny
liquor
now.
Because... No, well,
he's like,
I've seen some. I can't. I get drunk very quickly. My nickname is 2 Beer Brad.
Yeah. No, Vern would have a big gulp of beer.
Oh God!
And carry it around and finish it.
Go to the Playboy Mansion with him.
Like it was I've never seen anything.
He would Scrooge McDuck right into that thing.
I had Vern Troyer on my shoulder at the Playboy Mansion while Fred is singing with Exhibit. We're right next to each other and like doing this like rap. There we go. Both those guys. And I was just like, he's like 3 feet tall, but he's the heaviest fucker I've ever had on my shoulder.
It's dense. It's all people think we're light. Like I'm about $125. people think that they can like, oh, I'm just gonna lift them because I could deadlift, but like, no, I'm a bowling ball. All right, it's hard.
Now, how different? That's and again, my best friend is a little person.
Yes.
And
this is like, I know a black guy.
Here we go. One of my best friends.
What's coming
One
up?
of my best
What's
friends
coming
is
down
black.
the pike? Yeah.
One of my best friends is black, and I see him all the time. And people come and just when they get drunk, they think it's funny and want to pick him up.
Yep.
And he's gotten actually, in his credit, he's been sober for coming up on 4 years. I'll give him Eric. I'll give him
I love Eric.
Give him a bonus
ding for being sober for 4 years.
Yeah.
So now it's a lot different. When he was drunk, he'd kind of go with it a little bit, but now it's like a lot different. And that's got to be tough because it's like, people don't get it, especially when you're drunk. You lose your inhibitions.
I've broken 3 noses.
No kidding.
Because of this.
Yeah.
Because and this is a general PSA for little people etiquette. All right?
Don't pick us up.
Don't pick us up. I say it at the end of every show because I do a meet and greet at the end of every show. I take photos of people that are there. And
you actually try to do
and
that
they're
with you?
pretty much
all the
drunk
time.
all the time.
I tell them, you don't. It's not a thing I like doing. I'm a 40-year-old father. Don't pick me up. And so I've broken 3 noses because people would pick me up, just not even ask me, not talk to me about it, just like, hey, little guy, let's lift him. And they would do it from behind. And instinctively, I just throw back the head, and this fucking Miley Cyrus wrecking ball right here.
Oh my God!
I don't look at that huge head. I don't have dreams.
Do you act like it's an accident when you do it?
I don't have dreams. I have movies.
Yes, full.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
Stealing that one.
I don't act like an accident. I just go, yeah, that's what you fucking get. It happened 3 times, all at the same bar that is now defunct. It was Fullerton.
It wasn't the karaoke bar, was it?
It's in Fullerton, California, where I was born and raised. It was called Slide Bar. It's where I shout out to Slide Bar.
Slide Bar.
So many good memories
Man.
there.
Rest in peace.
Started by the guys in the band Lit.
Oh, Jeremy and AJ.
They live in Nashville.
Yeah,
Pop-Off.
yeah.
Really good guys.
Love those guys.
Yeah.
Really good guys.
They started that bar, and it was right by my house at the time. And, I would have a lot of fun over there. But, yeah, got picked up, broke 3 noses, and because I knew the guys and because I was sort of a local celebrity, they had no recourse.
Who's of anybody? What celebrities have you ever met that come up to you freaking out? Like, has there been somebody big that you're like, oh my God, like it's Brad Williams, I'm a big fan, or
not? All right,
nobody's a
fan.
That's what you're saying.
No, one that happened recently is the aforementioned Carson Daly.
Oh, nice.
Carson Daly liked one of my videos and started following me, and then I sent him a message. I DM'd him, and I was like, dude, like, this is really weird for me because you're who you are. I grew up
Did Chris Hansen come out of the closet and say, hey, you can't be liking Brad Williams?
Yeah. But, like, Carson, I grew up in Los Angeles. I remember listening to him on K-Rock.
K-Rock,
yeah. So, like, and then he got on.
Before K-Rock, he was up in San Jose.
Yeah, and then... So I messaged him, and I was like, dude, so thanks for all the good memories and stuff. And he goes, bro, me and Blake Shelton love your shit. So,
that's awesome.
Like, we're watching it a lot. And I'm like, hell yeah, okay.
That's awesome.
So I haven't met either of them yet, but they've reached out. Jelly Roll is a fan.
Yeah, Jelly Roll.
Dude, one of the nicest guys ever.
Unbelievably nice.
That guy... Win more, Jelly Roll.
Yes.
Win more. You deserve all the winning.
Do you want to hear something crazy? The first time I ever heard Jelly Roll or even met Jelly Roll, I was at Zany's in Nashville with Josh Wolf.
Josh Wolf,
right?
shout out.
Josh Wolf, good friend of mine. And Josh is telling me, I've got this guy, Jelly Roll, who's going to come out. He just got this new song he just did, and he wants to try it out. I'm like, at Zany's?
Yeah.
He's like, yeah. He came out, sang that song. There were people in tears.
Yeah.
Running up to him, hugging him, and I went up and I was like, "Holy shit!"
Yeah, you don't think that's coming out of that?
The song was amazing, but second of all, like the reaction that he got out of the people was unbelievable. And then, sadly enough, I thought to myself, "Well, this poor guy, like he's probably never gonna get a deal." I'm the sweetest human being. I was like, if I could ever do anything, I would love to do something for him. Right? The next thing you know, Jelly Roll, like a few months later, blows up. Yeah. And I'm sitting there like it could not have happened to a better person. The guy has an amazing story. If you don't know Jelly Roll by now, you should, because he's not just the next big thing. He is a great big thing.
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
it's
yeah,
like,
yeah, yeah.
He's
just
a great person. But
genuine
sorry.
person. Yeah, no. So
His speeches are the
He's
best.
one.
Yeah.
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 His song. It looks every time he wins an award, which I feel like it's every award.
Right.
now.
He's on Eminem's new record. Like, it's like
yeah.
he's everywhere.
Post Malone. He's doing stuff with.
Yep.
The windshield in front of you
Help us,
is bigger
Yeah.
than the rearview
Rearview
mirror
mirror
behind you.
behind you.
So
Yeah.
keep looking forward, keep moving forward. And he's like, yeah.
Thank you
it's
for
awesome.
this local radio music award.
And he's like that all the time.
Yeah.
He speaks.
Yes.
He speaks in metaphor. But
And I'll tell you, living in Nashville too, he gives back to the community
Yeah.
a lot. You
loves it.
always see him breaking ground on some new kids thing. He's always doing it. Now go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah. So yeah, that guy. And I'm also a big pro wrestling fan, and the aforementioned Chris Jericho.
Chris Jericho.
He lets me go on his cruise. It's the Chris Jericho Rock and Wrestling Rager at Sea.
What?
It's heavy metal, comedy, and pro wrestling on a boat.
Who's
No
all there?
way.
All of AEW? So all the AEW wrestlers. They're
Wow.
all. But then he also brings in a bunch of legends. So like. Last year was like Hacksaw Jim Duggan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I almost
Dudley
hit a golf ball.
Boys.
I almost hit
Yeah.
a golf ball into him one time.
Yeah.
Hacksaw.
Really?
Duggan?
It was a par 5. I didn't think I could reach, and I did. And he turned around. I'm like, oh shit, I'm gonna die. Chris Jericho plays music.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
he's a rocker.
Yeah, he's a band called Fozzy.
Yeah.
And if you ever watch me do a theater show, I usually come out to a Fozzy song.
No kidding.
Because that's my boy.
Yeah.
And
With Fozzy. Waka waka waka.
not that
No.
one.
No.
He's not a
Name drop
Muppet.
him.
Jim Henson. But no, it's like his band is a throwback to like 80s hair metal, and it's that kind of stuff, and it's great. And but yeah, he invites me on this cruise, and I get to meet all these old style wrestlers, the new wrestlers. Talk about a bucket list thing on the cruise last year. The Dudley Boys, they were gonna do the move. If you ever watched the Dudley Boys, they did something called the What's Up headbutt. One of them would slam and then like hold the legs, then spread them out, and then the other would go to the top rope. They would both do the What's Up, and then the guy would dive and headbutt the guy in the crotch. So it's a great move, very effective. But they're talking about like doing it on the boat. And the guy that usually does the headbutts, like, I'm not doing the headbutts anymore. Like, I can't climb up and do it. And so Bubba looks over at me and goes, "Brad, you want to do it?" And I'm like, "Yes! I have never been so excited to throw my head into another man's crotch." And
This is the third most excited. I've been
yeah,
to do.
so I got to climb up I didn't go to the top rope. I went to the second. Call me a pussy all you want. And dove and hit.
The second turnbuckle?
Yeah, second turnbuckle, and did a headbutt to Austin Gunn's crotch. So
That
yeah,
sounds
shout out to
awesome,
Austin.
pussy.
It was
Would you
great.
do more wrestling?
Yes. Oh my God, one of the best. Also on this cruise.
Yeah.
So you were a big fan of wrestling.
Yes.
That's why it's
I would love to do it. There was so the other dwarf wrestler. His name is Hornswoggle. Shout out to Dylan. That's his real name.
Oh, don't give that away.
It's his Twitter handle is Dylan.
I was
Postal.
mind blown. I found out that Hulk Hogan's name wasn't Hulk Hogan.
Terry. It's Terry. But yeah, so we found out that both Hornswoggle and myself were going to be on the Chris Jericho cruise. So we were talking to each other like, well, we gotta do something.
Yeah.
And so literally like the whole time, whenever we saw each other on the boat, we would yell at each other, like talk shit, and just like imposter midget, like stuff like that, and we would trash talk. And it got to the point where like the fans were expecting it. One time we went around a corner and we bumped into each other. We didn't know that we were going to be there. So now we're just staring at each other. And then immediately a crowd forms around us like, oh, they're going to do something. They're going to, whenever you see two dwarves together, you're like, a trick is going to happen.
Right.
So I'm there and
They're gathering.
Yeah. It's a convention. But like, so I'm staring at him. He's staring at me. And, like, we both don't know what to do. So I just look at him. I go, and kind of like under my breath, I go, slap me.
Yeah.
And then he, okay. Boom! Just nails me. And thankfully someone got it on video and we put that on my on the Instagrams. That got people going even more.
Yeah.
So then at the last day of the cruise, Hornswoggle interfered in a match, and then I ran down the ramp and we just stare at each other, and the whole crowd is chanting. I'm getting goosebumps right now. And then the whole
So cool.
crowd is chanting, "Holy shit!" Like before we even do anything, we're just staring at each other, and they're chanting, "Holy shit!" And then he takes off my hat, throws it in the audience, and that was the last straw for me. Kicked him in the chest, gave him a stone cold stunner, and the place just exploded. And as soon as that happened, I was like, "Oh, I get why these guys do this," because that felt awesome.
I think such an adrenaline rush.
Yes. It was so great. So I'm down to do anything else in the wrestling world. I finally fixed my back. I'm good to go.
Mud wrestling?
I'll do that. Yeah, why not?
I always wanted to mud wrestle because you remember the movie Stripes when John Candy got into the ring and he's with that kind of mud wrestling.
I wanted to do like old school.
Lean Mean Fighting Machine. Old school. Like with Old Blue.
With Old Blue.
With the jelly wrestling. Was it jelly? KY jelly wrestling?
That's when he died.
Smash Mouth on tour with us one time.
Oh,
and,
shout out Steve.
And one of the
R.I.P.
for sure, Steve. One of the we always played pranks on each other, and one of the pranks was we had some ladies come in and mud wrestle in their dressing room, which was a lot of fun.
How is that a prank? That's just a gift.
That was a gift. Well, to us, it's funny because it actually started out as a gift. Like they came on tour with us. It was when we were doing the big tour.
Yeah.
And we got on our buses afterwards, and it was me, Justin, and JC on one bus, and Joey and Lance on the other bus.
Ding,
and
ding,
we
ding,
got
ding,
on the bus. Ding, ding, ding. Sorry.
All the
When we got on the bus, there was a keg to us, like addressed to Chris, JC, and Justin. And then on the other one, there was a keg addressed to Joey and Lance from Smash Mouth for having us on. And when we were on tour, we'd been touring so long, we were like, well, they got us. Like, we looked at it as not a gift, like they got us. Like, they surprised us.
Yeah.
So now let's surprise them. So we began this giant war with them, which was not a war. It was just us doing pranks on them.
Gift war?
Yeah,
That's a great war.
No, well,
to be
one
in.
time we actually hired a high school marching band to wait for them, and the bus pulls up, and as the door opened and Steve and
just start
Smash
playing.
Mouth started coming out, they played All Star. And
that's awesome.
Followed them around the entire stadium.
That's pretty good.
Playing All Star.
That's awesome.
That's pretty
Sat
good.
down when they did their sound check. When they were done, got up, played All Star again. We heard them in catering, sitting there because the band was. But it was a fun little prank war that we did.
Dude,
That's a great idea.
That's that's what once you get a little bit of money, you should be giving back and giving to charity and support.
No, we're doing stupid
high
shit.
school.
You're doing stupid, like
giving back to the high school.
Pranks with money now.
Yeah,
Oh my god.
Let's fill their dressing room with 50 giant bags of popcorn. Let's spend and waste money.
Because why else?
Because
would you
why
When you
not?
headline, who do you have for your openers?
There is a guy who opens for me. He's a great comic. His name is JB Ball. He's got a special on YouTube. It's called "It's My Privilege." It's wonderful, and he is a 6'3" black guy. So we don't exactly do the same material. It's
Did
great.
you just ding black guy?
I did.
Hey man,
Well, they're very similar. That's why
aggressive. No,
They do a bit called Twins.
dude, it's awesome. And then but although
Great movie, by the way.
I'll get back to the funny, but for now,
Oh, they're getting serious.
Yeah, it'll get serious just for a second.
Are we gonna start crying for a second?
So no, we do the meet. I mean, maybe, but we do the meet and greet after the show. And there's times when I look at him and go, like, because people just come up and talk to us, and I look at him and go, I can't believe people just say that shit to you. And he looks at me and goes, I can't believe people just say that shit to you. Like, he learns
that's not
about,
funny.
like, people kind of
Yeah.
treat you like shit sometimes. And I'm like, oh, people definitely treat him like shit sometimes.
Yeah.
So it just sucks. So
So do you have a head nod you do with him now, or is it like you guys walk in somewhere and you're like,
yeah,
get it?
there's a code word.
yeah.
Can you tell us?
No, I don't want anyone to know
But
the
he's
code
not
word.
allowed to say the M word, and you're not allowed to say the N word.
Never. No, not gonna do it. And but there's just that mutual respect there.
Yeah.
Literally tomorrow, I'm hopping on a plane and I'm going to Hawaii to do a couple of shows.
Oh, rough life.
He's gonna be out there as well, so it's nice. I get to take my opening act, who's also like my best
Is
friend.
your family going?
Yeah.
Oh,
We're
That's
staying-
a nice vacation.
Staying at the Disney
Great.
resort.
That's the best.
Winning dad
That's the
points
best.
right here. Breakfast with Mickey.
Mm.
Come on now. So yeah, it's gonna be great, and that's the kind of stuff where you get to do things like that that's when you make up for all the weekends that you were gone and that you come back. Oh yeah, we get to do this fun thing.
How often
What
are
is
you
your
on the
daughter?
road?
What is your daughter into?
Like 3 or 4 weeks out of the month.
What is your
Next week will not. Next year will not be that much. It's 2 weeks a month next year. Anyway,
What is your daughter into
Right
that
now-
you can do that's like
okay.
besides for Disney, she's into Disney. And,
Yeah, she just got into Disney. I've watched Frozen so many damn times.
and you're a girl dad too. That's got to be.
yeah.
It's weird, right?
No, I love it.
I mean, it's not.
love
It's
it.
you've got to love it, but I mean,
Yeah.
there's two different worlds. There's us guy dads, and then
It is
there's
a
girl
different
dads.
world, and thank God I'm a girl dad.
Mhm.
I don't know if you guys.
And you said thank God that she's a little person too,
Yeah.
because you have a bit where it's you
Oh,
talk
she's gonna-
about you don't want to.
she's gonna get into every
A normal
college.
size?
Are you
Yeah.
kidding
Oh,
me?
yeah.
She's gonna get in every college. She's Asian and a dwarf. Come
Yeah.
on, no call, just turning her down. Yeah, it's gonna be great. But like, so she's really into Disney. She's really into Frozen. I'm definitely gonna be Olaf for Halloween. That's gonna be
Oh,
awesome.
Nice.
But like, it's just stuff like that. I have friends that are dads of
It's like you.
boys,
yeah.
and their boys, they're dumb. All right, the boys are dumb. The girls are way smarter. The boys are dumb. They're trying to kill. They're trying to kill themselves every 2 seconds.
Yeah, that's true.
It's
is
just
true.
and then my daughter's just sitting there playing with an action figure. I call them action figures. They're dolls, whatever.
They're
Action
Barbies.
figures.
Wait, Barbies you call an action figure?
Yeah,
Just so he can feel
Oh my
better about
God.
himself.
yeah. I'm
Hey,
doing
you
that.
want to go play with your action
Yeah.
figures with the kung fu grip?
Yeah, and so she's playing with that stuff, and like it's great. She loves animals and she loves Disney stuff. So yeah, it's gonna be a great weekend. I talk all the smack on Disney about the Snow White thing, and
Yeah.
yet I'm giving them more money going to their
Right.
resort. So they still
Do
got my
people
dollars.
stop you at the Disney resorts thinking that you're one of the characters?
Ha! Probably. We
You could
went there
use
last
that
year.
to your advantage. Just be
Oh.
like, yo, tip your waiter. What
Oh,
the heck, bro?
I know that because, like I said, I used to work at Disneyland. I know that I could. There's certain employee entrances.
What did you do at Disneyland?
Here's the best story. So my job, I was not the guy in the suit.
Right.
I was the bodyguard for the guy in the suit.
Wait, are you serious?
Yep. It's called
This
being
true story.
being a character host.
Character host.
I was there for 2 years,
And the crazy
yeah.
part is, though, the
Wow.
dwarfs,
Yeah.
the Snow White's dwarves are pretty big characters, right?
Yeah. So I can really get into the weeds and might get in some trouble. But there are some height
Restrictions.
things for certain
Requirements,
characters.
sorry.
Certain characters are certain heights. So if you see Minnie Mouse, I wouldn't. I mean, don't touch anyone that doesn't want to be touched. But I really wouldn't want to touch a Minnie Mouse because it's probably just a tiny Asian man. And,
Especially if that Minnie Mouse is front of the Chinese theater.
Oh well, that one. Yeah, that's gonna be.
That's
Yeah.
the first time my son experienced
Oh,
that
did-
stuff, and there was
did
a
it take
the
the head
helmet
off?
came off. And
Oh,
Yeah.
to freak him out?
No, he asked me. He didn't know that Mickey spoke Spanish.
Yeah.
Dad, Mickey speaks Spanish.
Yep.
I dressed
And
up
I was
as the Easter Bunny for. I spent Easter with
Shh.
Chris and his
Would
family.
you be quiet?
Wait, your son's not gonna listen to this.
Well, he's not now.
not
Nash,
this
if you're listening, go to
Plug
sleep.
your ears.
Go to sleep, buddy.
For anybody who believes.
But
that.
I was so
yeah.
nervous. I was like, what if because kids are smart.
Yeah,
and
they'll figure it
I
out.
was with them the whole week, so it was like, I'm dressed up as the bunny, and I got the hat on and everything like that, and I'm like, I'm just waiting because Nash is a smart kid.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, he's 18 years old, so at this point, he should know. About
But I was so
He's
worried about.
35.
Yeah.
I was so.
lives on his own.
Chris was like
Still
adamant.
can't
He's like,
figure out why the Easter Bunny doesn't come.
he's like, don't take your hat. Like whatever you do, don't don't take it off until you're out of the way because
You're
all
not.
these kids are there.
And don't speak Spanish.
Don't speak Spanish. The Easter
Really-
Bunny speaks
really
Spanish.
ruin his
Bienvenidos, yo soy de Easter Bunny.
Huevos.
He said, "¿Qué pasa, Nash?"
Oh man, yeah, that was something big when you worked at Disneyland. Is you
Yeah.
always had the phrase was keep the magic.
Mm-hmm.
It always had to be like, do not do anything that like. All right, so there's here's a fun Disneyland story. There's one time where I'm with Mickey Mouse that day, and Mickey Mouse after a half hour, I gotta go get another Mickey Mouse.
Mhm.
You know, because it's hot outside. But you can't tell the kids, hey, I got to go get another
Yeah.
dude dressed in the suit or another small woman dressed in the suit. So we say, like, oh, you know, it's hot outside. Mickey's going to go get some lemonade, but then I'm going to bring him right back. And I say that. and there's a family that's like, no, we need our photo right now, and we're like, no, we really gotta go. They tell you like, hey, at 30 minutes you're gone. So I go, hey, I tell the family, hey, right here, stay right here. I'm literally gonna go. Mickey's gonna get a quick glass of lemonade, and then I'll be back in 2 minutes, like 2 minutes. And the dad starts getting mad, like, no, photo right now. We paid money, photo right now. And then the mom, true story, just yells out, Mickey. Mickey turns. She throws her baby at Mickey.
No.
Lobbed a child, an infant baby at Mickey. Mickey does this. Catches the baby.
Oh, thank God.
Photo. She grabs the baby and goes, thank you, and then just runs off. And I'm like, what the fuck? I grab Mickey.
Wow.
We haul out. We haul backstage. The actor in Mickey was
Jerry Rice.
very emotional. Very emotional after that, like sobbing. And she's like, what if I killed the baby? I'm like, you didn't kill the baby.
Yeah.
So you're fine. You're good. But yeah, it was that was the craziest thing, where people just kind of get this sense of, well, I'm in Disneyland.
Entitlement.
Nothing's gonna happen. It's the magical place. It's the most magical place on earth. So,
How old were you at this time?
I was at that point. I was like 17. So yeah, she threw a baby. That's when I thought, like, okay, people are crazy. Let's avoid people.
What was your last real job?
My last real job was I worked at Hot Topic.
Hot Topic?
Yeah.
Wait, are you saying comedy isn't a real job?
I mean,
No, I think entertainment. I think anything
It's
that we
not.
do isn't real.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
not.
It's not real.
It's not
No.
real. Like it's very
We're
real.
having too much fun.
Yeah,
doing
like
it.
we pay taxes, but there's times when like I'm doing insane like this. I would do this for free. I mean, I am.
Well,
doing
we
this for
do.
free.
Yeah.
Yeah, but like
we actually do
yeah,
this.
but
We
like
actually pay to do this.
yeah, but like I would hang out and talk to you guys and be like, yeah, if you invited me out for lunch, dinner, whatever, yes, I'm gonna
You
do
want to
that.
be like Ed McMahon?
Yeah,
You just sit on the chair, and every time somebody does
Yes!
your name, just go, yes,
you are
Yes!
correct, sir.
that's right.
That's wild.
So, yeah,
That's good stuff. That's good.
Good impression.
Yeah.
That's
you
pretty
should,
good.
You should hear his what's it
What else do you have?
who's the old Casey Kasem?
Oh, Casey Kasem.
This next song and dedication goes out to, and he writes, Dear Casey.
Bravo. All
Isn't
right.
that great? Oh,
So
the
you've
memories.
heard the clip of Casey getting mad, right?
He's like, how come every fucking time I hear an upbeat song, it comes into a death record?
Or something like that. It's like
He's,
He's
he's
been
talking
fucking-
about a dead dog.
We need
He's
to get
like,
Steve on the phone.
Yeah. It's a dedication to a dead dog, and then he just stops and he gets pissed off. He's like,
I was friends with his daughter, and
Oh
she would
my
tell me
God.
that she would go through all the dedication letters,
Yeah.
and she would read them, and he's just like go through like,
Nope. Nope. He's like, oh, this is a good one.
that's
but it's
amazing.
like I hear his voice because he was Scooby or not Scooby,
I was
but
gonna
Shaggy.
say Shaggy.
Yeah,
That's a
Shaggy.
really good Shaggy impression.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's him.
Yeah.
He was Shaggy. That one's a good one, man. Hey, did we ding Casey Kasem?
Oh, Casey
did.
Kasem.
Yeah, we did a
My
few
The
times.
God.
late great Casey
The
Kasem.
greatest.
How great was that countdown too? Like back in that was like TRL.
Mickey,
It
yeah.
really TRL became what Casey Kasem used to be. Sundays, Saturday mornings,
Yeah.
when you'd hear the Casey Kasem.
In high school, I worked at the Gap, and I used to listen to Casey Kasem on Sundays. That's how I started doing the impression. And I would have to fold like denim, and I'd have Casey in my.
And we're back.
You're still triggered whenever you get a pair of
Yeah.
jeans. You're like, oh,
Whatever at the Gap, yeah.
Yeah.
Hot Topic.
Yeah, Hot Topic was and the thing is I dressed pretty much how I dress now, just jeans and a t-shirt kind of guy. So Hot Topic, I didn't have any gauges, any tattoos, any discolored hair. They just saw a dwarf and they're like, well, that's weird.
That's alternative.
You can work
hired.
here. Yeah, you can
You're
work here.
hired.
I
You're
spent
fine.
plenty of time at Hot Topic. With my son's 23, but I just remember those tween years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's all the band t-shirts and
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah.
So I don't even care if
Do you do music?
no.
You're doing it now.
I will now. I don't
You
know.
are now.
I'm,
This is a part where Chris makes fun of me because I can't sing.
Oh, okay.
So maybe
Are we all
maybe-
gonna sing? Is
Oh
that,
yeah,
we're all
oh,
gonna sing.
yeah.
Is that a thing that happens on
Yeah.
this podcast?
Yeah, it's never. I mean, that's not true. It's not. We've had some good ones.
So-
when we have singers or people
Yeah.
that can carry a pitch, not like my partner here.
There
But-
is a show that's at the Comedy Store about once a month. It's called the Goddamn Comedy Jam. I did it last night. It's the best show ever because there's no real stand-up involved. You go on stage, there's a great band behind you, and you pick a song, and then it's like comedian karaoke. You sing the song.
Oh, that's
no,
awesome.
get out of here.
I did the show last night. I did Harvey Danger Flagpole Sitta.
Oh, fuck this shit. I love that song.
Good tune. Got the crowd into it.
Wow. Okay,
I
Harvey
love
Danger.
that
There we go.
song.
Flagpole
Yeah.
Sitta. I haven't heard that
Song.
since like was it '98 when it came out?
But now I'm thinking at one point, Chris,
Let's do it.
I got to bring you on,
Yeah.
and then we'll do the Backstreet Boys.
Yeah,
song.
let's do it. Let's do it. You know who does something hilarious is Steve Byrne.
Yeah, I love
Oh,
Steve.
yeah.
Have you seen Steve's boy band bit that
We're
he
getting him
does?
on.
Yes, he
So
brings.
he brought
like,
me last month on stage to do the boy
Yes.
band bit, and I told him this. I did his show with Joe Gatto up in New York, the Moms or something like
Yep.
that. And I told him on the show, I said, I watched you turn from comedian friend Steve to comedian I don't know you Steve.
Yes.
Like to this is a bit suddenly. Like
Yeah.
he's like, Chris, would you come up and do this thing? And I'm like, yeah, sure. And I get up there, I'm thinking I'm gonna riff with a buddy of mine. This is gonna be funny. He's like talking to me for a second, and then suddenly his face goes blank, and I become audience member B.
Yes, now you're a
from
target.
the thing. And suddenly I'm like,
Yes.
no, it's me. Chris, we're doing a boy band bit. I know these bits. Like I
Nope.
can tell you what to do. And I told him how funny it was that I just saw him change because I'm going, Steve, I hate you. Like it's me. Stop turning me into this.
So-
You're looking at me like these other 4 humans that you've never met pulled
Yeah.
up on stage.
I've tried to explain to non-comedians that, like, when you meet a comedian off stage, they're a different person on
Yeah.
stage. That is
It's a switch.
That is a different person, and when you're on stage, the only thought in your head is this funny?
Right.
You do not think, well, this is my friend Chris. I gotta make sure
Yeah.
he's cool. I gotta make sure he's comfortable. No. In that moment, you're just like, is this funny?
Yeah.
Because if it's funny, I'm gonna say it. If it's not, I'm not. This is something that a lot of comedian spouses, boyfriends, husbands, girlfriends, whatever, often have issue with is that, like, there's show person and then there's the real person
Right.
who you love and you like
Right.
and you're with. And
Which
then
probably
there's
also
show.
transitions into your real life when, a lot of my friends are comedians. And it's weird because you're funny. Like
Yeah.
even when you're not doing your bits, like when we're
Yeah.
not on camera, because you're witty and you say things, but it's not like you're on. It's not like you have to
Yeah.
be. It's like you just throw little things in here and there.
Sure.
You're not like Brad on stage.
No.
You're Brad
That
being
guy-
Brad. And
Sometimes-
some people
yeah.
just think
That guy would be an asshole.
yeah, some people just think that they're always in their
Yes.
part and always on.
Yeah, I imagine there's certain jobs out there that when people find out you do the job, they immediately want you to do the job for free.
Right. Right.
It's
which
like,
is
okay,
comic.
so comic, tell me a joke.
Right.
Oh, you're a singer. Can you
Yeah,
sing me a
sing.
song? You're a masseuse. I got a little
Yeah.
thing. Like
Give
it's
me
like
a reach around.
Yeah. There's so many, like, so
Wait.
if you have a quote unquote normal boring job, at least look in the bright side. No one walks up to a systems analyst and goes, "Oh,
Yeah.
you're a systems analyst?
Yeah.
Listen, I gotta like no one does that."
Oh, you weld?
Yeah.
What can you do with those 2 pieces of metal right there?
Yes.
I need you to fix shit.
Yes.
Yeah,
No
yeah.
one does it. No one asks you to do your job for free right then and there.
Are you bass, baritone, tenor, alto, soprano?
Bass.
Bass.
Yeah.
Basically, he can sing.
Yes.
Oh, man.
Okay.
Okay.
Basically, you can't sing.
What
Okay.
do
But
we
no,
sing?
it's just-
I don't have a
real
pitch
easy.
pipe
It's
with
real
me
easy. We
today,
don't have a
and I
pitch pipe.
yeah.
Do we sing
But I'll-
anything, or
No,
what do
it's
we
just
sing?
like, we
What do
just
you
go,
sing?
Name drop. That's it.
Oh man,
that's all it is.
That's high.
Okay, like all in the
Name
same.
drop.
Do we do a harmony,
You can if you want to.
or do we all do it separately?
You
Can
can do-
can you harmonize?
I mean,
Well, he sings Backstreet, so
yeah,
no.
yeah.
Oh,
Wait, Backstreet
Zinger,
Boys.
Just kidding. I love you.
AJ.
Love you guys.
That
Love
was
you, Nick.
great. I
love
love
you, Howie.
that. Yeah.
Love you, AJ.
He
goes,
Did you say it?
Name drop.
Did you say everyone, or was
No,
there
I
one
didn't
you
say
left
Brian
out?
and Kevin.
Yeah, because fuck those guys.
Which is what he says to me when he's on stage, which is really messed up.
All right,
Perfect.
on a count of
Name drop.
Yeah.
drop.
Okay, I can do that.
1,
1, 2, 3.
Name drop.
Yeah.
There we go.
We got it.
That was good.
No, it's horrible. Not on you. I'm gonna give him credit. But
Yeah, that was all right.
that was
Brad
bad.
Williams,
Dude,
it's been an honor. I'm
Dude.
so stoked that you did this.
It's been a pleasure. Like I said, I would do this. This is amazing that this is technically work right now. I get to hang out
Yeah.
and
Tell
talk
your
with
stories.
Yeah, talk with a friend, and now hopefully talk with a new friend. So,
Absolutely.
yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
it's great.
Name drop.